So what's the secret? Do you want to know? What can you learn from tour player coaches like Pete Cowan?
The muscle structure here is just spinning from the lat and the shoulder, spinning down as I'm turning. And
David Ledbetter.
As I move the club away, I want to feel a setting with my right wrist. Load that right wrist. And you can see the club head is still outside my hands. This is what I'm trying to achieve.
Or Butch Harmon.
What you want to do is start your downswing with a lateral weight shift this way. It drops your hands and arms into this position where you can deliver it to the ball.
And I know where you're coming from. I totally get it. Making swing changes can be very challenging for anyone.
Learning process takes time. How many times have you given a guy a 30-minute lesson and he goes out and doesn't play any good? He says, yeah, I took that lesson from that guy, but I threw that out. That didn't work at all. And you listen to the best players in the world when they do interviews, when they go through swing changes, said, yeah, it took about 6 months till I felt comfortable with this swing change. And this 18 handicap didn't feel good because he didn't play any better 30-minute lesson.
But the problem we've all got is all these thumbnails like this drill is that good it feels like cheating are all absolute total bullshit. Now the secret to becoming really good is rock solid basics. Now don't go just yet, because I'll show you what all good players do that you can do. Now if you watch experienced golfers that have played for a long time, you'll see them standing around on the golf course swinging back and forth, one hand or two hands, nice and relaxed. Everything is moving around. The feet, body and even the head move. It doesn't matter who it is, they all do it. Now good golfers spend a lot of time doing this when they're hanging around between shots. So what's going on here? They're actually training the correct motion. A three-quarter swing similar to the L to L swing.
We're using a little bit of gravity in the downswing, so we're not forcing anything at this stage, and we're just going, flicking it back and forth. A lot of hands and arms. The feet are moving and following the hands and arms, as you can see, okay? Just a nice motion.
And they're just letting it flow nice and relaxed, and they can feel the weight of the club head in the hands with a nice consistent rhythm.
Go with the Apex irons, the standard blade 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to pitching.
And then someone comes along and says,
I'm just spinning the arm down
Yep.
without losing the right wrist. And that's
Okay.
why Hogan says, I wish I'd have got 3 right hands, because he could compress the ball with 3 right
Not
hands.
this.
No.
Yeah.
So your forearm turns down, but you maintain the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or shows them how they look on a video compared to
5 strokes clear, 18 holes to play, and still Faldo seeks help from coach David Ledbetter.
What I'm able to do right now is really to help maybe just polish up the rough edges and just give him that little fine tune that he needs to be able to go out and be able to hit the ball as confidently as well as he wants to.
Now elite players have already perfected the skill in their hands through years of dedicated practice, and you probably haven't. I mean, I haven't got a problem with that, but you don't want to start doing this or this until you can do this.
So he turns really good, and his follow through is so powerful. He's so strong that's why he hits it so far. Every part of his body's working, but in golf today it's more of the wrist, because that's where everybody's getting their distance. Back when we played, we had a lot of ball. We had to set on our right and push the ball up. So now you just get on top of it and kill it with your wrist. And his swing is it's absolutely perfect.
Now some golfers can handle positions after positions, but some golfers can't.
Who has the perfect golf swing? Well, there is no perfect golf swing. The one that generates good shots is a perfect swing. So I was asked this question, who has more technically perfect golf swing, Ricky Fowler or Phil Mickelson?
Don't try and be somebody you're not, because it will kill you. Or your rhythm and your timing,
Well, Phil Mickelson's won 6 majors. Ricky Fowler hasn't won a major. But Phil Mickelson's swing is a little unusual. It's very long. It's a lot of body movement and a lot of hands. Yes, he's one of the greatest players we've ever seen. But technically, I would say that Ricky's swing is a little better because of the positions he gets into, the way he gets the club back to impact. Phil may be more gifted in natural talent. I think in Rick's swing, the positions that he gets to are the best you could be.
Now, Peter Cowan said it himself, that every golfer, every good golfer, should learn to manipulate the golf club. That's the skill.
Every player in the world is a manipulator. Every player. They're all manipulators. Yeah. They've got to be. You know, because what we want is we want great mechanics with the best manipulators.
Yeah.
That gives us the best player. Yeah. So that's why I always say with somebody like Brooks or McIlroy or Woods, they are the best manipulators. There's no doubt about that. And they are, when I relate it to juggling, I say those guys at the top that win in majors all the time, they could juggle 20 balls. Yeah. Their hand-eye coordination is that good. The average tour player probably can only juggle 10. Yeah. And, you know, the good amateur probably 5, you know, simple as that. So that's the separation. Yeah. So they're twice as good with manipulation as the average tour player. So that's why they win the top tournaments, and they've got really good mechanics as well. Yeah.
So how do you do that before you start to isolate movements and take your swing to bits? Now do yourself a favour, relax and feel the weight of the club head in your hands and hit some shots with your feet together.
Now with amateurs, what I would say most of them, not all of them, would be much better with the feet together. They get still get the body coiling up like a spring, turning from the feet, knees, hips, abs, chest, coiling up, and then the arms are up in position and then swinging down and nicely in balance.
Now your speed, producers, and how well you control the face is in your hands and your wrists. Now allow the hand and arm swing to pull the body into position. If it's well directed in relation to the target, then that is the majority done. Perfect, so now widen your stance and swing back and forth, relaxed, and use the weight and the gravity of the club head. Now don't force anything, let it flow. Lots of hand and arms, the feet are moving and following the hand and arm motion from right foot in the backswing to the left foot in the downswing and into the follow through. From a flow and a timing perspective, it's a lot easier to swing a golf club by pushing it forward and swinging it back rather than pulling it away from the golf ball. Now it really gets a nice rhythm going, your hands and arms releasing properly, your feet are moving and nothing is staying still. Now try and feel the weight move onto your right foot before you start back with your hands and arms. And likewise in the downswing, feel the weight transfer onto your left foot first and allow the hand and arm motion to follow. Now the transference of weight first frees the body up and allows the hand and arm motion to naturally pull the body into the correct position. Now the force always precedes the motion. If there's no force first, then there's no power in the motion. Now the movement is nice and relaxed and allow gravity to swing the club head. You don't want to force anything. Now no tension or big shoulder turn at this stage. Just let it flow and gain control over your motion. Now the best thing that any golfer can do is to hit shots with the feet together and get those hands, arms and wrists firing.
What do you think is the biggest contributor to speed in the golf swing? 70% of the speed comes from your hand. So if you're an amateur golfer out there and your hands are not active, you're just leaving something behind.
Before he died, the greatest teacher in the world that's well regarded, whether you're Hank Haney, whether you're Butch Harmon, David Ledbetter, any coach in the world, Pete Cowan, no matter where you go, they all have one common denominator. Every one of them will say that the late John Jacobs, who died 2 years ago, was the greatest teacher, was the godfather of all their teaching. Everything they learned, he's the guy who broke the mold in terms of teaching how to play the game of golf. So in terms of releasing the club, his favourite drill was swinging with your ankles touching. If I put my ankles touching like this, right, it makes me release the club.
So stand there and see if you can accelerate your club with your feet close together and penetrate the ball. Look at that, beautiful.
That's awesome.
No, I would tell him, I'm not going to let you go any further until you can do this.
And what you just did right there, you hit what? That's a pitching wedge or 9-iron? And it went about 100 yards.
I can feel it somewhere inside, haunting, like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard to believe.